guys, welcome back to another episode of From the Shadows. Now let's take a little look-see at what's been going on in Paris over the last couple of weeks. Luis is into the box, he's through his man and he's scored. There we go, off the bench for the injury. Luis, first goal of the season. Paris 1, Zadar 0, and the youngsters are doing it for themselves. His free kick, and it's 2-0. Off the bench, scores 2 goals. What a player he is, and what a season I hope he's going to have for us. 2-0 to Paris FC, game over. Kolach is in here, and oh my goodness, Zadar have scored. Guys, we tried a slightly different system today, and my goodness, still defensive holes. Sebastiani loses the ball, but Luis picks it up again. Matis is into the box this time. Obradovic, and it's in the back of the net. Jazino can't keep it out. 3-1 to Paris, 7-2 on aggregate. Milan Obradovic with the goal. Oh, Bakamatara at the back post. It is now 4-1 to Paris. Home and away, 4-1 wins. Very good. Well done, the lads. Have it. Paris 4, Zadar 1, and we're through. In for Cherry. He's got a man running around the side, or is he going to go alone? He isn't going to go alone. Free catch. Luis wins it here. Cherry inside, and Cherry scores. Paris 1, Angers 0, 4th goal of the year for Alberto Cherry's. Luis with the assist, and the new system's actually looking pretty damn solid so far. Support up from one of those. Cherry, and Cherry somehow gets around and scores again. Paris 2, Angers 0, Noop with the assist. What a start for Alberto Cherry, and Paris off to a flyer. We go Paris 2, Angers 0, a solid win on the opening day, and more importantly, a solid defensive display to go with it. Into a decent area now, up for Dahul, bit of space, can he find a shot? He goes slipping it through for Cherry, and that is Toulouse 0, Paris 1. Alberto Cherry yet again has scored all 3 of our league goals this year. What a start from him. Control actually, good play from Noob. Slips up to Cherry, can he see the overlapping run? He can, it's Luis is through, and Luis has made it 2-0. Toulouse 0, Paris 2, Cherry this time with the assist. Luis with another goal for his season, and what a perfect start here in Toulouse. Great football. Noob, bit of space in front of him if he fancies it. He's got a dribble on him. Orberg's in here. Cherry's got it. Cherry scores. Toulouse 0, Paris 3, Alberto Cherry now with 4 in his first 2 league games this season. What a start, 7 already. Pache wants through and he scored it again. Toulouse 0, Paris 4, what a start, but the 3 injuries we've already suffered in this game to key players could be massive for us. There we have it, Toulouse 0, Paris 4, what an away performance, but those injuries are a massive worry for us. Parche 1, there's a bit of a break on here. We've got men in behind. Holt is one of those. Holt slips it through with Dahul. Parche 1's through. He must score, and he does. Paris 1, Nice 0, and that has been coming. My God, we've smashed them for the opening 10 minutes, and we've got what we deserve. The lead. Second runs. Luis is one of them. Holt's into a good position. No, not quite. Azan, now Holt, goes through a couple. What a strike from either Holt. Paris 2, Nice 0, and this game could run away from them at this rate. Holt makes it 2-0 to Paris and a great start to the game. Aslan to Parche 1. He's got space in the middle for Luis. Is there a run through for Holt? Back to Luis. Lovely football from Paris. Parche 1 running in out of nowhere. Paris 3, Nice 0. What a 25 minutes we've had so far on free kick. And it's 4-0 and a hat-trick for Parche 1 in the first half. Paris 4, Nice 0. They've yet to even have a single shot in this game so far. What a performance. And then go and score eventually with their first shot on target of the game. It's just the way things go here, isn't it? Lasne out and off the crossbar and on the rebound. There you go. You just can't get away from it, can you? No matter how well you play and how well you defend, they'll still get a goal. It's just really frustrating to have, but there you go. Paris 4, Nice 1. I'm still disappointed that we let them score with their first shot on target of the game, as always, though. Right, we're back. So, as you can see, and firstly, before that, let's see if we can get 150 likes on this episode. I know it's getting towards the end of FM16, but I really want to see if you can do it, so please give that a crack. So yeah, we're going to do a question of the day first, before I tell you about kind of the reasons behind our, in theory, brilliant form to start with. But first, the question of the day is this. What made you start making videos for YouTube? Now, I wish I could say that it was something inspirational, but the fact is I was just bored a little bit, and I had a little bit of extra free time because I work from home, and I've always liked YouTube and I always wanted to do it, and I had a little bit of the equipment. I had a decent microphone and that already, and some screen capture software which I've used for work stuff, but it's just one of those things where I don't know, like, I wish I could tell you. Basically, like, I wanted to do a YouTube channel, and the only thing I could really think of at the time that I would really enjoy doing a channel for was FM, and it seemed like a community that might not be that, well, it was still pretty difficult to break into, but there's definitely, at the time, certainly, there was a lower bar to entry. You could get in and just do stuff. There wasn't a huge amount of editing going on in the community at the time, which meant that you could just go in, record, and be done, and it kind of, you know, is very easy to join the community at the time. Things have kind of stepped up a notch this year, but I still think that there's plenty of room for more channels to emerge, and I really hope that they do, frankly. So there we go. If you do have any ideas for a question of the day, drop those in the comments too with the hashtag QOTD. Right. So, as you see, we went through against Zadar, as you would have expected. Now, I made some tactical changes. Now, I'm going to show you that first, basically, because people basically said to me, you know, if you want to stop conceding those types of goals, we need to change the system a little bit. And this is the changes I've made. And it is literally just a simple position change. We've dropped the defensive central midfielder back to a DM position. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether I want to keep him as a ball-winning midfielder, although, as you have seen, so far the results are certainly leading towards me thinking perhaps that's a good idea. But I'm not entirely sold on that. I'm also not entirely sold on whether I should keep these two as cover and stopper now that we do have a defensive midfielder. Now, I think that strengthens us for two reasons. One, because we've never had that many good, strong centre mids. And two, I think it just gives us a little bit more of a screen. And basically, Matas and Bulens can both play in that role, as can Riviere. So we've got plenty of strength in that role. Dahula's kind of filling in the middle here due to the sheer number of injuries we've sustained this month. It is like it goes, you're winning games. Let's fuck you. And that's kind of what's happened, really. Orberg is injured. Mbar is injured. Noop is injured. Those ones are relatively short term, like 2 or 3 weeks. Uchan, though, torn hamstring, 3 months. That's him done until sort of October, November sort of time, which is very frustrating because I can't sign anyone new. We don't have the money to bring anyone in that would be any good, and I couldn't sign anyone on loan. We nearly got a guy from Tottenham on loan, but he signed for Southampton on a permanent deal instead, which was frustrating. So that's and Alberto Cherry is also out injured, but well, he won't play today, but he'll be back relatively soon. He only had a gashed leg, and it could have been so much worse. In that game where Cherry got injured, we also lost Amara. No, sorry, we also lost Sidibe and Aslan. Thankfully, they weren't seriously injured and it was fine, but it's still not a good thing, frankly, guys. That's a worry for me. I also don't know why Ivor Holt is displayed as not having played a game for us. That's bizarre. He's literally played because he scored. Let me just do a quick pick and see if it changes that. Right. Where is he? Oh, brilliant. So, Aslan, do we really want Aslan up top? I really need to put Ivor Holt in the first team. I might actually try Aslan up top for today. Maybe he could do us a job there, you never know. But basically, we'll come back to that in a second. So basically, that's the sort of tactical change I've made. And frankly, given the results so far in the league, it looks like it's working. We're currently top of the division. 10 goals scored in just 3 matches, 1 goal conceded, and I was frustrated by that just because we so badly absolutely destroyed Nice, and yet they still score with their first shot on target. It just seems impossible to stop them. Even when you batter teams, they'll do that, and that's fine in a game that you win 4-1. Well, it's not fine, I'd rather not, because that just adds up. But what I'm saying is, if we batter teams and we only win 1, or we're only winning 1-0, and then that happens, that's where it's going to bite us. I just don't think it's possible to stop it. Because if we limit them to 1 shot a game, they'll score it. And it's impossible to limit them to no shots a game, so we're going to have a bit of trouble there. Top scorers, as you can see, Parche 1 and Alberto Cherry have got 4 goals each in the league. Cherry's the top scorer in the top average rating, and Luis has already nagged himself 3 assists. But look at Para of Stade Rennais, 5 already for him, so it's quite a competitive market already in that sense. Take a look at the squad. Over the last few matches, it's all been about Cherry, of course. He has got 7 goals in 3 appearances this year, which is unbelievable. I'm hoping when he comes back, he can continue that form and carry us through, frankly. I want to see if he can better his tally of last year, basically. We had a bid from Mbar. Ajax offered us 1.4 million, so, you know, that makes perfect sense. What? As for value, look at that. Luis is 28.5 million, and I think he's going to prove that this year already with 3 goals and 4 assists in his opening 4 matches. What a performance he's had this year, and key passes as well has been pretty solid from Parche 1, interestingly, doing well on that one. As for interceptions, look at that. Herve Sidibe with his 45, but Bulens is going to catch up on that mighty fast, I sense, because he's now going to be playing that role. So, as you can see, we were drawing against Halmstad in the next round of the Europa League. I was going to show the draw, but again, it was stupidly complicated and so many ties. It would have taken so long, and there was really no point. It's not that important. We'll probably show the draw for the group stage, though, because that has got a little bit more important. That's if we get through. Now, this is the first leg. I decided to show the first leg. I was going to potentially do it, but I've got a lot of work to do today regarding videos, so I had to go for this. Let's just do another quick pick just to make sure that nothing's changed since then. Cherry on the bench is probably not a wise idea. There's no point in putting a player on the bench that I won't have no intention of actually bringing on. So Al-Qaeda, oh my god. I definitely need to bring some more players up from our reserves or under 19s, basically. Let's just check the ability. Okay, so Samsonov, he needs to come up. I'm just going to do this now, guys. That way I'm remembering. Ayari as well. He's another one that needs to be in the senior squad. Ivor Holt again, because these guys all play. So there's no point in keeping them out. Baka Matar is playing for us as well. So there's no point in keeping them down there. Orberg is another one that plays regularly, or seems to anyway. Riviere, again, is another that plays regularly. Obviously, they'll be available for the reserves, but I need to make sure that they're actually in the senior squad. Amara, frankly, plays regularly as well. It will just give us a bit more of an option. And certainly will make the squad look a little bit better as well, just in terms of the amount of players I've got available. However, as you can see, with the amount of injuries, and unfortunately, some of them must have been available for a reserve game, which is disappointing, and that will hopefully solve that problem for us. So, in fact, with that in mind, I'm going to put Ivor Holt up front instead of Aslan today, just because I just think he's a better player. We'll put Cherry on in place of Azaner. So, that will do for now, I think. Wagner's having to fill in at left back because both Orberg and Mbar are injured, which is disappointing to say. But there we go. So Holt is going to start up top for us again today. He's got 1 goal in 1 appearance. So he's done what he's done. And you cannot fault him for that. I'm very impressed with him, frankly. He just seems to score when he plays. And that is a very, very nifty trick to have. They're playing a 4-5-1, which is not dissimilar to the system that Nice played. And we beat them 4-1 and absolutely annihilated them, in truth, and probably could have had 6 or 7. So hopefully, today's game will be very similar to that one. But I want to see another good performance from Holt. Dahul is filling in nicely there, but once Samsonov and Uchan come back, he'll at least have a bit of support in that role. But Holt, this year, I think I want to see him get double figures, frankly, and I think he can. Whipped across, cleared away. Glassberg will head that away, but we've just got that extra player in this position here, Matas, dropping slightly deeper, which means that we're a bit more staggered and plenty of room to get the ball. Holt turns his man, and it's a good save from Zentner in the first 30 seconds. Holt already testing the goalkeeper there. Buelen's corners are wonderful as well. Dahul, Ruiz, and it's blocked. And already we've had a couple of great chances in the first minute of the game, and that sets the stall out for the rest of this match. And one thing I have noticed about since we've changed to this system is we've been a little bit less accurate with our shooting and a few more long shots, and I don't really understand why, but we're just going to have to make do with that, I suppose. Glassberg, we're also encouraging a lot of long balls from the other teams, which is fine if they don't then just lump it over our heads and score. With plenty of players in there, and Calorio makes the save. I'm enjoying his work so far, albeit the fact that he's not had to do a great deal so far for us. We've been so solid at defensively in most of the games, he's not had to make a great deal of saves. Holt, that's a bit of a poor ball to him. Sidibe's big header though, Buelen's tracking that out. Luis now loses it, but it's come back, and this is looking a bit more difficult. But again, we've got that extra man to cut out the ball, and he's sunk slightly deeper. Holt knows how to roll his man. Luis is through. Must score, doesn't. Another good chance for us in the opening 15 minutes, and we failed to take it. But 72% possession. Look at that. They've only got 48% pass completion in this first 15 minutes. Dahul should get to that. Another thing I like about Noop when he's played for us as well is he's got a little bit of extra pace that perhaps is missing from us a little bit, and he really does have this wonderful way of dribbling through people, and it's nice to see. It's a bit of a different dimension to our play. Wagner out wide now. He's going to have to shoot. Oh, go short. Okay, for Part J1, who's been on form as hell lately. Holt through, and another save from Zentner. 3 clear-cut opportunities in this first 15 minutes. We've not taken them. Worrying, to say the least. It has all the hallmarks of one of those games that is... Have they, though? And does that really matter, is more important. Look at that, 27% possession now. They can't get the ball off of us for a start. Luis, Part J1, Holt's into space. Lovely run from Ivor Holt. He must score and... Oh, well, okay, right. Firstly, that is a ridiculous goal. I don't know what the defender's doing there. I would be furious if that happened to me, so I'm just going to not say anything about that because we've got massively lucky with that. We've deserved the goal based on our play so far, but not like that. That is not the way I wanted to take the lead against these guys. But on the plus side, Ivor Holt scored. The defender should deal with this just here. I don't know what he's doing and why the goalkeeper doesn't just come and close that down, but Holt's in again, and he is turning into an absolutely fantastic replacement for Alberto Cherry at the moment. He really is turning into a fantastic player. I'm really enjoying his work. And we've got ourselves an away goal here in Sweden against Halmstad. A little bit of trivia about Halmstad. They were actually promoted the season before last, and in their first season in the Allsvenskan, they won the league. I don't know how that's even possible. They got promoted and then won the league in the next year, and hence why we're playing them in this. They're actually sitting really struggling in the Allsvenskan again now. They're sitting 13th. But the fact that they were even able to do that is insane. Perhaps a one-season wonder, which might explain, whoa, okay, they've got a little bit interesting with their system. So I might just do what I've done a little bit. And this sometimes works. If we go exploit the flanks when they go to these sort of systems, because of their back three, it might just leave them a little bit more exposed. And we've got plenty of support out wide. And they're playing a very wide back three as well. There's a lot of gaps in between, which Holt will absolutely revel in the second half, you'd like to think. Although, we'll have to see. Although, Dahul now knocked down, but Matas is there to pick it up. That's what I mean. Buelen's into space now. Outwife of Wagner is up, and he's scored. From left back today, Sebastian Wagner, Halmstad 0, Paris 2, and these are the sort of performances we're churning in, week out with this new style of play, and I'm enjoying it tremendously. We've won every game since I've changed to this new system, albeit against some weaker sides, but to beat Toulouse 4-0 away from home is no mean feat, frankly. And we're not exactly allowing teams lots of shots either. You know, I don't think we've had a single game this year where the team has been allowed more than 10 shots. In fact, I don't think they've ever got into double figures against us, and that's saying something. And I think that's going to say a lot about the way we're playing this year. And I think that's probably going to mean that this could be the year that we really do start to mount a challenge. Part J1 bringing it away. He's had some fantastic form lately. Dahul now. Players all over the place. What a bit... Oh, Park, mate. You could have literally parked your bus in that. That was an open goal and he has the chance to kill this tie. 3-0 in the away leg and we're done. And again, Wagner cutting it out there brilliantly. Park Jae-won now loses the ball. That's poor from him, considering how good he's been in front of goal this year. The hat-trick in the last game was the clue. Sidibe, again, coming out from the back to close that down. That seems to be the new way of this play. Oh, Park Jae-won through for Ivor Holt. He's offside, I think. Yes. The linesman was moving backwards, but he did, in fact, stop. Shame, but Ivor Holt is, again, looking like an absolute assassin up front. He looks like a proper lethal-looking finisher, almost more so than Cherry at times. I would genuinely think that in terms of the number of shots to goals ratio, I think Ivor Holt's is probably higher than Alberto Cherry's. I wish there was a way I could figure that out. There might well be a way I can figure that out. I'll have to look in the analytics, because I genuinely think that is actually the case. He is so clinical when he's put in front of goal. He just doesn't get as many chances as Cherry because he doesn't play as often. So that's the way I'm looking at it. What is going on there? Holt through again. Can he turn? No, he can't. Dahul with the strike, and Zentner makes the save. Probably should be more than 2-0 at this point, but I'd take it at this stage. I'd take a 2-0 and a clean sheet. And that's what I mean about that extra man in there. Again, he's clearing up those sort of areas where we would normally have lost the ball there, and it's allowing us to keep even more possession, amazingly. And through for Holt again, and a save. And, okay. Probably could do with a third goal now, lads, just to chill this one off a little bit and put Halmstad in their place, because frankly, they're not offering much themselves. Right, here we go. If we score here, that'd be ideal for some substitutions. And it's flicked, and Zentner makes the big save. He made that look much harder than it needed to. So, changes. We're going to go with... Matas hasn't played that well today, actually. But, unfortunately, I didn't put Revere on the bench. Although, what I can do is... is that really wise, though? No, that's probably not wise. We'll bring Aslan on for Dahul, because he's not had a best game up front, up there, and he's sort of low on fitness. We haven't got anyone to come on at left back, so I'm also going to maybe... I might actually just get Holt off for a little while and get Ayari on. Another danger man, and this year he is going to be playing for us. Last year he was out on loan, accidentally of course, but this year he and Holt are going to be fighting for that second... Oh, that's a poor bit of defending, but Ayari's in here. He's got a bit of pace. Nah, if he'd have scored there, I'd have been pretty embarrassed for them, because I hate conceding goals like that when the angle's appalling. We've definitely been good enough to get another goal here, and so I'm a little bit peeved that we've not managed it, but let's see. We've still got 17 minutes to go. Luis bombing forward to Ayari. Holds the ball up well. Luis... Park Jae-won, huge space over on the other side. Aslan's in, he must score, and he actually did. There we go. Halmstad 0, Paris 3, Ergin Aslan, and lovely stuff from Paris. Again, we caught them on the break that time. This is what I'm looking at. This is the sort of new system that I'm really, really enjoying, and I think this could be the system that makes all... Look at that, we had 3 players on the overlap. Aslan also very nearly messed that up. Now, I've also had some comments over recent videos about the squad numbers. Now, at the start of every year, I clear the entire team of squad numbers, and then I auto-number them, because I don't have time to sit there and go and auto-number each single... sorry, not auto-number, but number every single player and give them the correct number, because frankly, I don't really care about it. I know some of you might do on your saves, but it doesn't bother me if we've got slightly higher squad numbers on some players. Some of them... But also bear in mind, we have a lot of youth players too, which is why you'll see a lot of high squad numbers, because we've got a lot of young players, and that's why it often tends to give them high numbers. Some of them requested them as well, which is bizarre. But yeah, basically, I don't really care about them, because at the end of the season, if we win the league, it's not going to be because of the numbers they're wearing on the back. It will be because of the good play, and that's all I really care about. I don't really care what number they wear while they're winning games, frankly. But there we go. So there we go. Halmstad 0, Paris 3, a thoroughly deserved... Look at that, 7 clear-cut chances, 7 half chances as well. We probably could have had 5 or 6 in that game, but the point is it doesn't matter, because we've got ourselves a 3-0 win, goals from Wagner, Holt and Aslan, as well as a clean sheet. And it's not a rare thing this year. I think that is our 3rd clean sheet in our last 4 matches. And Calorio's not had a lot to do, admittedly, but I'm enjoying his work nonetheless. So, in the next episode, we'll probably have a draw for the first round of... sorry, not the draw. You know what I mean, not the first round, the group stages, and then of course we will do probably the first group stage game, unless it's a real dead rubber match, but we'll have to see, because I'm really trying to sort of concentrate on this for a little while, unless we get a massive game come up in the league, in which case of course I will do that as well. So guys, if you like what you're seeing, please do drop a like on the video, that would mean the world to me, and I will join you guys in the next episode for perhaps some European football. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, bye bye.